Patriot Games for day 2. Today is going to be a doozy. Only 2 events, but we're going to do some heavy lifting and then we're going to be running through the woods of Virginia. It's going to be pretty awesome.
2, 1, go!
All right, this is called Axel Foley, named after a famous 1990s Beverly Hills cop, and we are doing 1 minute AMRAP. Burpees with sandbag over the head, 1 minute only. They're all bonus times, so you can elect to do none. I think I'm gonna do probably around 5 or 6 and then start staging myself because we gotta carry our sandbag to that first row of cones by that orange berm, and we have to shoot 200 yards on steel, 10 rounds. So burpees, AMRAP. 10 rounds prone. So there, from the beginning to here, is 3 minutes total. So you got to get all your shots off in probably a minute 10, a minute 15. So everybody from the starting point to here will be at 3 minutes. Nobody will be ahead. This is where we get ahead. So from there, the 3 minutes are up. We release, or they release us, and you're running down. And we have to do a clean jerk for it's 135 pounds, 90 and a 10, and we got to walk it all the way down, maybe about 50 yards, drop it, and then we shoot 30 rounds from the stepped wood up there. So he staged a mag down at the bottom, so you have to go back and get it, go back and get it, and then when all that shooting's done, you got to bring the weights back, and then you come here, get your sandbag, and bring it back. These are the shots we had to take from 100 yards in that first battle. Top, center, bottom. It was a little tough being a little taller, but I think I did okay. I did not do well from 200 yards. I didn't hit any of the 10 shots. It was the first time I shot with the magnifier at this distance, so it's a learning curve, but oh, whatever. This is where I wasted 5 minutes because it was 3 minutes to get there, and then I had to get it up and over your head, lock it out, and I couldn't do it all the way. I just couldn't. I could not lock my hands out with the weight. There goes. I was 14th place after yesterday, but that 5 minutes, that's going to cost me. That's going to throw me down, and that's kind of discouraging. But it is what it is. All right, I cannot for the life of me get my phone to rotate sideways, so you'll have to watch it in this mode. We're running through the woods of Virginia, and mile to the shooting area, and then a mile back. It's soft. It's undulating, and I haven't run in a while, but it sure is beautiful. So sorry for the bumpy picture, but we had to run a mile out, shoot 9 shots on the trifecta, and then 1 shot at 100 yards on probably a 6-inch popper that we had to flip around. Freaking nailed that on the first shot, and then I got to run back almost at the finish line. We're gonna finish strong. It's just like in a marathon. Conrad, 32.
Let's go, Conrad. Brian, let's set.
45, I said.
How was it, Brian?
That was tough.
Yes, it was. Stud, 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 stud. Oh, after we came out of the woods there, we had to climb this berm and then go all the way over there. We had 9 shots on the trifecta. Left, center, right, left, center, right, left, center, right. Then there was a, gotta be a 6-inch square. They called it the hostage. And we had to flip that popper around from 100 yards prone. Nailed it on the first shot, and then we had to reverse the course. Greatest photographer. greatest photographers. There's Jess, there's Mike. If you come to the Patriot Games, you will get awesome pictures courtesy of those two. Patriot Games number 4 in the books, all done. I got a lot to learn, or I learned a lot. This one was definitely more about strength than anything else, and I got a lot. I got a long ways to go.
So the last award that we give in all award ceremonies is the
Ryan,
is the Patriot Award. Ryan and his wife make each of these by hand. They are one of a kind. There will not be two that are the same. They put a lot of hours and a lot of thought into these. And they're done from the heart. There's no criteria. There's no checklist. There's no guidelines for how we give these out. We know it when we see it, and we know the person who deserves it when we see them. Sometimes it's a one-off incident. We go, that's the person. Sometimes it's a much longer, protracted evolution that brings that person to us, and that brings the award to that person. In this case, this person has been around since the inception of the Patriot Games. I think he might have been our first registrant. He's been the most prolific in sharing about us. Always there to pick up something and put it away. Always there to help someone else, and always there with a kind word. This guy trains his butt off in his off time, which is not, he doesn't have a lot of off time. He is a busy nurse anesthetist by day. Yeah! I'm so proud to have this guy. Andrew Conrad.
Told you the mustache did it for you.
I don't think TSA will appreciate this.
That is deserved. So deserved.
Patriot Games 4 is in the books. I had to wait about a week to make this video. I'll get to that in a second. But I learned a lot from these games. It was the first time I ever flew with firearms. I flew from here to Virginia. It was really the first time that I put weight of that magnitude up and over my head. I don't lift. Like, do you even lift, bro? No, I don't. I don't lift. Doing a 205-pound deadlift, let alone having to walk 150-ish plus yards with it, and not even a regular bar. I kept saying 2 inches. I actually saw it today. It's probably about 1.5 inches, but it's definitely not a small bar. It definitely, you can't get your whole hand around it. I saw a couple pictures, and you know, my thumb was barely touching my index finger. So it's definitely thick, and you can't get like a super good grip on it. But I definitely learned a lot. I finished better than I have in the past. So the first games I finished 19th, the second games I finished 19th, the third games I finished 17th, and then these I finished 16th. But I wasted like 5 total minutes. 5 minutes of my total overall score, time score, was struggling with the weights. About a minute with the deadlift walk. Towards the end, I just couldn't get a good grip on it. And then getting that 135 pounds, clean jerking, snatching, whatever you call it, getting it up and over my head and walking about 25 yards with it, I just couldn't do, and I wasted like 4 minutes. So what my score could have been, or what my place could have been had I not struggled with those, is something to be seen. So I also learned that I spent way too much time practicing with my X5 Legion, which is not a bad thing, but at the sacrifice of practicing with my concealed carry, my RXP, the X Compact. So I need to shift my focus away from shooting the X5 Legion every time and focus more on being a well-rounded shooter, where I shoot multiple guns well, not just one. So, you know, jack of all trades, master of none, something like that. But it was very, very rewarding. You saw the speech that Anthony gave. I won this beautiful award, the Patriot Award. You know, when anybody wins an award, they feel that they don't deserve it. I'm mixed. you know, I did things, but I did things because that's what I always do. I'm always willing to help out. I'm always willing to do what needs to be done to get the job done. If I was running the tournament, I probably would have given this award, I would have given it to Andy, Ryan, and Nick, because they are fierce competitors and they gave up their competition to work with Anthony and Allison and everybody else because they didn't have a lot of volunteers when we traveled to Virginia. So if it was up to me, I think they made a greater sacrifice than I did, and you know, I'm gonna share, in my mind, I'm gonna share this award with them. So I can't wait to get out there again for Patriot Games 5. We're gonna be back on our home turf. I like traveling, but I like our home turf better because everything is very close by, you know, the tents and everybody's set up. It's right next to the range. Palm Bay and Virginia, our tents were set up like where we were hanging out in the vendor tents, and then we kind of were by the firing line. So it wasn't as cohesive of a spot, but I really like both spots, but it's just not like home. So really looking forward to that. I think it's May 13th and 14th, so I've got about a month to train. I'm going to work on getting the weights up and over my head. That's going to do it for this one. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Check this thing out. Patriot. Every one of them is a one-off. It is beautiful. It's a CRKT axe head that is modified by Ryan, True American Carvings. This is a one-off. It is absolutely beautiful. I'm going to display it proudly. We'll see you in the next video.